Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. If you didn't watch my first video, my name's Adele. I'm just going to be going through 10 things that I have either been asked on or topics that don't really get a mention. So rather than do a long introduction like I did with my first video, let's jump right into it. So the first, sorry, I'm also eating yogurt as well. So the first topic that I'm going to talk about is tidying the house. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because I do get asked a lot, how do you keep your house so tidy? Now, I'm not going to say it's spectacular, but it's tidier than a lot of what other people have, in the sense that some people have 2 kids or just one toddler who is a menace, basically, like my daughter sometimes. It is now going on, I reckon, it's going on 10:05 in the evening, and I still have, if you have a look this side, I have a broom that I still need to sweep the floor. My daughter has had 2 accidents tonight due to the hot weather. She doesn't do well in hot weather. But because of that, it has slowed me down by the time I change her, wipe her, by the time she goes to the toilet, and by the time I change her bed, we're going on maybe 5-10 minutes. So if you include that in there, you know, I did dishes tonight, cleaned the living room, still haven't swept them up. I'll probably be going to bed after this because I'm exhausted and it's like 26 degrees in the house. So, yeah, as a mum of a 3-year-old, I do my tidying of my house when she's at childcare, when she's with my sister, or when she's sleeping, and pretty much 98% of the time is done after she's sleeping. So yeah, that explains that. Okay, number 2 is childcare. The reason why I bring that up is because I used to work in childcare for 3 to 4 years. I'm having my dinner. And a lot of questions I get is, what makes a good childcare centre? Now, the answer I've always given is, what makes a good childcare centre is the one you're happy with, the one that you feel comfortable that your child is at, the childcare, that the child is happy in the environment if you leave. That is what makes a good childcare centre. And going on that, you need to make sure you're not just going to the one around the corner because it's around the corner. You don't want to travel, you don't want to drive, you either don't want to catch transport, and because it's convenient. Sometimes childcare centres that are around the corner aren't always fantastic. There's one around the corner from my house, and it's probably changed now, but when I went there, I did not enjoy doing my placement there at all. It was just horrible, and yeah, that's my experience. However, if you ask another adult, oh, they love the childcare centre. It's because it suits them. When you go to have a look at the childcare centre, you need to make sure that you have your questions ready, because I can guarantee the childcare director or the person in charge will have the answers for you. Now, sometimes they'll use the same answer for all parents. So make sure that you're not just asking the obvious questions like, what does your policy state about the menu, for example. It's going to be the same for everybody, you know. Ask them, do you cater for this? Of course they're going to cater for all allergies, but, you know, do they cater for halal meat, for example? Or what's your sunscreen policy? Am I allowed to bring in sunscreen? So those kinds of questions. Okay, number 3 that I get asked is, what's it like having an Indian husband? And the question that goes on from that is, does your house smell like curry? The first I'll answer about the curry. No, to me it's a myth. There are some places that I've been to, it does smell like curry, but that's because there's more than 4 Indian family members and friends living together. So, of course, the curry is going to be more. They're going to be cooking more often. And because the curry smell, it gets into your clothes. You know, so it's just that kind of stuff. It's like if you live with a house full of smokers. When you walk in their house, it's going to smell like cigarette because it's going to be in their clothes, it's going to be in the air, it's going to be in the walls, the furniture. But I will say no, my house does not smell like curry all the time because the job that my husband's in, he's constantly working in the sense that he starts at 12 tomorrow. So he leaves at around about 11 o'clock, won't get home until 10 o'clock, we'll cook, and by that stage, that's it. Or he leaves at 4 o'clock in the morning and then gets home at around about 4 o'clock. So by the time he finishes cooking and everything, the smell's gone. And what's it like living with an Indian husband? For me, it's difficult. Oh, well, not difficult. It's tough because I have OCD, so my expectations are higher than a normal person's would be. I expect things to be done. I'm also very hard-headed in the sense I like things to be done so then I don't have to wake up and do dishes in the morning, which is what I will be doing. I shouldn't be having to, you know, do that kind of stuff in the morning when I just wake up knowing that it's going to be there. So I've kind of gotten used to it as well. But majority of Indian people are very stubborn. They stick to what they want. So when an argument comes, he won't budge on a lot of things. But to be fair, I'm not easy to live with either due to personality, OCD, just where my mind is with things. So, okay. Sorry. Number 4. So we've covered those 3. I've just got a tick to make sure I know where I'm going. So number 4, question I get is, what's it like being a stay-at-home mum, and do you enjoy it? I'll answer the second question first again. Yes, I do enjoy it. I get to see her grow up. I get to hear her words. I get to speak to her. I get to see the person that she's starting to become, the person that I'm going to see get married, the person that I'm going to see go to college. I'm going to see all of that. And unfortunately, my husband works 40 hours a week, I'm pretty sure, or a fortnight. No, it's 40 hours a week that he's working. So he works 5 days. But they're long hours. It's like 37 hours or something. But, and I could be wrong on that. So, darling, husband, Harry, if you're watching this, I'm sorry if I got it wrong. But yes, I do enjoy it because I get to see all the things that unfortunately my husband, Harry, doesn't. He missed her crawling. He missed her walking for the first time. And I had to send those videos to him via Facebook and and Messenger. And you know, I can't imagine what that felt like for him getting that and seeing the caption "walking for the first time." Answering the second question, what's it like being a stay-at-home mum? As I said, it has its positives. You get to see so much more than what the other person does. However, it does have a negative side to it. It's loneliness. I am very lonely because there is a lot of times where someone can say, okay, I'm organising a party, or, you know, I'll be asked, let's go out to dinner. And I'll be like, great, okay. And they'll organise on a Saturday, Sunday. Now they know that Harry works Saturday, Sunday. And they'll say, okay, how does 6 o'clock sound? I say, yes, sure, can my daughter come? And they're like, some people say, well, actually, no, I thought it was just going to be us. Or they'll choose, I don't even need to ask that because it's not appropriate for her. And then if I do go to dinner, and that's all it was going to be, then they'll say, you know what, let's go see a movie, and it will start at 8:30, and I'll be like, sorry, I have to go home, because my husband's working early in the morning and I've got to get home for my daughter. Or, I'm sorry, I can't go because my sister has been looking after my daughter. Now, after you do that so many times, your friends will eventually stop asking you because they know that you're not going to be able to do things, because one, they don't want to upset you, or two, it's just, they just can't be bothered doing it anymore because you keep saying, sorry, I can't do this. And also, when your friends call you, they just want you. If they're thinking, oh, we're going to Macca's for lunch, you can bring your kid, but if you're going out to a nice dinner where you want to have a drink of wine or alcohol or just chill out, they don't want you constantly getting up, taking your child to the toilet. They don't want you constantly getting up or, you know, dealing with a screaming child. They don't want that. They're there to have a good time. And it does make me sad because a lot of friends that I used to hang out with, I don't hang out anymore because of that reason. Or it's been one of their reasons. Like I had someone tell me, I haven't been asking you to do anything because you've got Trisha, which is my 3-year-old. And I'll be like, okay, I can find someone to look after her. Yeah, but then if we change it another night, then you can't do it. So it does get lonely, but it does have its positives too. Which I'll probably elaborate on another video. Okay, so another question I ask is, how do you not have so much washing and dishes? Well, how I have not so much washing and dishes is that I feel my daughter has had a few accidents tonight, so I'll have to put the washing on tomorrow. But generally, if she's having a good night, I do my washing practically every second to third day. I just clean up all the clothes, put them in the wash, they're ready to go. I will then stick it on and then hang it out and hope to God that I have a 30-degree day the next day to make sure it's dry. Doing dishes, as I mentioned before, I do them in the evening or I do them in the morning. So, at the rest of the time, they're normally sitting in the sink. Unless I have a friend coming over. Okay, so the next one's about my parents. I have 2 sets of parents. I have a dad and a stepmom, and I have a stepdad and a mum. And the one thing I get is, what's it like not having your parents in the country to see Trisha and all that? It's heartbreaking. I will say it's heartbreaking. I just can't call up my mum during the day saying, hey, it's a Sunday, can we come over so Trisha can spend some time with you? Sorry. I can't do that because my parents live in the UK. The year they went was the year that Trisha was born, which was 2013. And my mum said if we had have known you were going to be pregnant, we wouldn't have gone this far. But I wouldn't ask them to come back. No way. They're happier over there. Hopefully one day my family and I will get over there as well. So, but it's hard because the times that I need cuddles, my husband's out working or I'm by myself. I can talk to my mum, but I can't just sit there, have a cold drink with her and say, look, I'm struggling. I can tell her over the phone that I'm struggling, but I can't get that mum cuddle that we all need sometimes. So apart from those, I am doing okay, but I wish that they were here. Okay, cooking. This one I'll probably have to elaborate on more, but things such as my daughter can't eat beef or pork or cow or pig. So she's pretty much stuck with lamb and chicken. She can have some seafood, but she's not really into it. My husband cooks for himself. I've tried Indian food, but I suck at it. And second, I eat meat, so I just cook whatever it is I cook. So, but plainer, I should say, because she's kind of a plain girl. So, you know, we'll have veggies, mashed potato, and whatever she decides, chicken nuggets, whatnot. So, which I can elaborate on in another video. Okay. I think I pretty much covered social gatherings, but I'm going to cover on that in another video. Tricks of the trade I've got here. Now, I get things like, how do you keep your stuffed toys away? You know, where do you put your shoes? You know, any furniture I can get my hands on. Any wash baskets are great for stuffed toys. Or if you can make one, there's this device where it's like a rectangle, but it's got strings. I would love something like that, because you can just pretty much throw all their toys in and they can just grab what they want. Another one is with an ironing board, which I will admit I don't use. I bought a hang on the door one, which is really good for just quickly throwing it all on the wash, and yeah, it just makes sure that that kind of stuff. That's what a hang on door ironing board is. As I said, I soak my clothes if I know I'm going to do them next day. I fill up the I don't use a dishwasher. I hate dishwashers. I fill up my washing machine, and then I put the liquid in tomorrow, and then just turn it on and away it goes. What else can I talk about? Tricks of the trade. Tricks of the trade. I haven't really got anything else, really. Little boxes I brought from Kmart. They were like $4 each. I find they're really good for like McDonald's toys, for loose toys. I like containers and boxes, because I find that boxes are really good for keeping, just her makeup sets, not the real makeups, the doll's head with the mirror and the brush and stuff. Salon stuff, you could say. Dress up box, instrument box, Lego box, stuffed toys. I've used a shopping washing basket for her smaller stuffed toys. So just think outside the box. Okay, and number 10 is being a mum. Well, I will say it has its trying times, but I'm going to elaborate that because it's getting on 20 minutes now for a video. It can be tough. Being a mum, it can be tough, but it can also be the most rewarding thing that I could ever think of. It's something they don't give you a handbook for. And the reason why you don't get a handbook is because you make your own handbook. You know your child. When they cry, you know what they're crying for. When they're coming to you and saying, "Mummy, I'm hurt," you know how to make that better. When they're ill, you panic sometimes. You think, you know what, I'm going to take my child to the emergency department. But as time goes on, you learn that manual that you were starting to make, that's gone out the window and you're making a new one. The next year, that manual that you wrote the year before is going out the window. You're constantly writing a new manual for your child. And when someone gives you advice, if you don't want it, you say, you know what, I'll give that a try. You don't have to try it. You're just being polite. But if they go, "Oh, did you try that idea?" All you have to do is go, "You know what, I did try it. It wasn't for us. But I found this way and it works." You don't have to be polite to everybody. If someone's taking over you as a mum and telling you how you should be a mum, stand up for yourself, because you know what, at the end of the day, whatever you do for your daughter, you're always going to be there for her. You know, nobody else can raise your child. They're not the ones that are staying up until 4 o'clock in the morning with your child vomiting because of gastro. They're not there when you hear the night terrors and the nightmares. You're not there when you see them start getting sick. They're not there when they come in at 6 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning saying, "Mummy, I've had a wee accident," or "I've done wee in my bed." They're not there changing your child. They're not there changing the bed sheets. They're not there when they need a bottle. You're there. So you know what? I'm going to say this as loud as I can, but I'm going to say when you're their mum. If someone starts saying, "No, you know what, I'm going to do this because I know better," you say, "No, I know best because they're my child." Stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid to tell them to back off and stop parenting. They're probably going to be upset and they're probably going to have a whinge to either your husband or your daughter. You know, to your husband or your wife. They're going to complain to other members of the family. But you know what? You're there 24/7. They're there for what? Let's just choose a number. 5 hours of the day. Maybe, what, 10 hours out of the week? You're there 24/7 with your child. You know when they're meant to sleep. You know what they're like. You know what their allergies are. They know them, but only because you told them. It doesn't make them an expert. So please, and I'm going to elaborate this on in another video too. Please don't feel ashamed, upset, or angry at yourself because you told people to stop raising your child. They're your child. Don't feel ashamed. So I've gone through all my list. There are so many more things I want to talk about, but we've run out of time. It's now going on 10:30, I'm pretty sure. Yep, it's my bedtime. I'm going to finish off my yogurt, my dinner. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like and subscribe. I'll keep posting videos. I hope you see them. Just random videos, that kind of stuff. Look after yourself. Can't wait to see you guys for the next video. Take care. See ya.